I'm standing in the dry Guadalupe River as it goes under the 87 freeway, and you kind of get a real good viewpoint of the trash situation. And so we're down here just wanting to share with you. You can actually now see the trash coming down the hill, and there's an encampment right above this bushy area to the right. And then down in the stream to my straight ahead, we have all these items that have been thrown into the water. One of the things that we want to help people to understand is what is the harm with, people that are living along these waterways in close proximity to the stream. Well, what happens is each year we have our winter storms, and when the water starts flowing through these areas, it will actually go all the way up to that beam. So I'd be under about 20 feet of water, and what happens to all this staged trash? And that's the concern that we have, is that if you look, all of this will then start moving down the stream. The plastic will get shredded into smaller pieces, some of it all the way down to microplastic size, and then make it all the way out into the bay. And that's the concerning thing, is that this problem is not just isolated to St. John's Bridge on the Guadalupe River. This is a much larger impact on our environment and the bay and the ocean. But one of the things that I did is I quickly came down here just so you get an idea of what type of trash we're finding in these areas. It's, there's a whole bunch of plastic bottles. We've got trash bags. All of the food, because there's no refrigeration down here. The people that are living here have got to, source food that's typically in these packages, and then it's just discarded along, this area. And then either we are able to get in and get this trash picked up, or the storms will push it down the waterway. Embedded in these areas too is you have to understand that a lot of the lighting and other appliances that they're using, small appliances, require batteries. And so once the batteries are dead, they have no use at all for them, and they get discarded into these areas. Under a couple of the bridges over at Willow, we pulled out close to 200 batteries from these encampments, and then what was spilled into the water. The problem is that along these stream areas, there is no trash pickup, so you end up with mountains of this plastic, very difficult for the environment to handle, sitting down in these areas. What we did is last year, around this corner after the major flooding, we came in and we did a trash count, and we could tell roughly how many pieces of this torn, shredded plastic were in this one stretch from the 87 freeway up to about the 280 freeway, and it was just under 400,000 pieces of shredded plastic. So a lot of that's actually not just getting caught up in the trees, but a lot of it is making it down to the bay, and that's the harm that we want to kind of communicate, is when you have people living this close to the waterway, then you have this potential situation occurring. And so South Bay Clean Creeks Coalition is not anti-homeless. We understand that there's a lot of people that do not have a place to go, but what we would like to see is that there are buffer zones where they don't allow camping right along the waterways, and say about 100 feet up from these areas, out of the riparian area, would be a significant improvement on the trash situation that we see along these waterways. Our group this year will probably reach the 1 million pound trash mark, which is, crazy to think about. 1 million pounds of trash. And what we would like to see is sort of restructure this thing so that it makes sense for both parties. It's healthy for the environment, and then it's healthy for our homeless people, because thinking that living in squalid conditions like this is a benefit to our homeless, the whole thing needs to, we need to kind of rethink this situation.